Hi everyone, my name is Jing and welcome back to class. Now I am going to play the first minute to a minute and a half of the 5 most popular TED Talks. Meanwhile, you're going to be taking notes on a Google Doc. So pay attention to what the speakers are saying because I will be asking you a few questions after the talks. Are you ready? So let's begin.
Good morning. How are you? It's been great, hasn't it?
Okay, so after they watch the first one, which is called the Do Schools Kill Creativity, I am going to play the second TED Talk, which is called Your Body Language May Shape Who You Are. And after that, I will play the third one, How Great Leaders Inspire Action, the fourth one, The Power of Vulnerability, and lastly, Inside the Mind of a Master Procrastinator. So this is going to take about a total of 8 minutes to play all 5 videos. And now, after all the videos are played, I am going to ask students. I hope you all enjoyed watching these videos, and I'm sure that you wanted to finish watching one or all of them. Right now, we are only watching the first minute and a half, but afterwards, you can feel free to go ahead and finish watching these videos on your own time and later in class. But let me ask you guys some questions. First of all, I wanted to hear, what do you think the purpose of the first talk was? Remember, the title is called Do Schools Kill Creativity? What do you think is the purpose of this talk? Amanda? Great point. So you think that the talk is about how the current education system is not working? And he kind of mentions it in this first minute. Very good. Okay, so next question. I want someone to tell me, what do they think the rest of the talk on the third talk, How Great Leaders Inspire Action, is going to be about? Joanna? Interesting. Okay, so wow, smart. That's very smart of you. So you're not only guessing from the minute and a half of the video that you've seen, you're also reading from the description of this talk that he mentions Apple, Martin Luther King, and the Wright brothers. So you think that the talk is going to talk more about these successful companies and leaders from the past. That's a great way to be guessing what someone is going to talk about. Great job. See, I didn't even tell you to look at that, and you knew how to do it on your own. So that shows the initiative that you're taking. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys a couple more questions. Since we watched the 5 different talks, I wanted to hear which talk resonated with you the most. Nick? I guess that's not a surprise. Inside the Mind of a Master Procrastinator. Yes, and while I appreciate you being honest that you procrastinate almost every time when you are passing in an assignment and you tend to try to rush it in the last minute right before the deadline. I'm glad to hear that this talk really resonated with you, and I'm sure this also resonated with many other of us here. But yes, great point. You mentioned that because the way he presented it, he's not judgmental. He's not saying, oh, you're a terrible person because you procrastinate, but he's using a really humorous, funny way to present it. So it sounds like you wanted to finish watching this talk, right? Yeah. Great. So last question I want to ask one of you or a couple of you, if you want to answer this. If you were going to give a speech, which one of the 5 talks would you want to give a speech on? Sam? Yeah, I get your point. You're saying you want to give the speech on school kills creativity because you are very frustrated with the education that you've been getting from your school, and also because this talk is the most popular talk of all times. So you wanted to make a talk that is also the most popular so you can be in the spotlight. Good point made. Someone else? Louisa? Interesting. Yeah, I think you're very smart that you brought up your body language may shape who you are. This is a very powerful talk, and this would be a talk that you want to give because you really like to inspire people and help them think and act more positively. And looking at the title of this talk and her first minute, this seems to be the most powerful one for you. Great. Well, thank you all for sharing. Now we're going to move on to our activity part of the class.